Hey traders, Raghee here. Welcome to Charts and Coffee. Hope everyone's doing great, having a good morning. We've had an interesting morning already, and this is going to be just a session where attention is going to be limited. One of the things that we want to remember is it's not just the Thanksgiving bank holiday in the US that's going to affect liquidity. It's, of course, the half day on Friday, but the day before Thanksgiving is very much sort of a half day as well. And the question we ask ourselves is what would keep traders interested in trading throughout the entire session today? Not much, right? We're going to have the initial reaction semiconductors post NVIDIA. We have a long position open in Intel in the Sector Secrets Mastery. We have at 10 a.m. the revised inflation expectation. That's probably going to be the biggest reason for traders to stick around today, but that's only till 10 a.m. Eastern. So figure that between 10 and 10:30, we're going to get that inflation number. We're going to see what the target rate probabilities do in reaction to it. And then we'll see whether or not there's any reason really to stick around or whether traders are going to check out. And check out, they likely will, right? Get a head start on that vacation, turn a 4-day weekend basically into a 4.5-day weekend. So I never underestimate the market's ability to say, hey, today's a half day. In fact, I'd say for the first, I'd say between 2020 and about 2010, Fridays were half day Fridays for me. And I'm looking forward to moving back to that pretty probably in 2024. There are some days where it makes sense to say there's no reason to persist all day long, right? We can find the best time of the day, focus on it. My day traders, absolutely the first 65 minutes of the morning. Rod, can you really make a dent in an account with 65 minutes? Yes, absolutely. Because that 65 minutes isn't about getting in and getting out and getting in and getting out and stop and reverses and quick trading necessarily. Sometimes it's great. The Lorna bot scalping methodology is fantastic for those days where we're not getting a lot of follow through, but we're getting movement. Other than that, the thing that I like to do is wait for directional bias, pick my spot, wait for price to reach that spot, and then I can enter in that 65-minute window, but I have the latitude, as we did on Monday, to continue to see that continuation, that grind movement, grinding higher, grinding lower, just continuing to move. So just keep in mind, gang, by the time we get past the reaction to the 10 a.m. hot zone, we're probably going to see less and less interest. Yesterday, we had almost no reaction to the FOMC meeting minutes. So whether that's apathy or just no surprise, next to no reaction. And then on Friday, if you're wondering, all right, Rob, do we come back on Friday? What's really waiting for us on Friday? Not much. Core retail sales out of Canada, no big deal. Lagarde at 5 a.m. could move U.S. Treasuries, could move the U.S. dollar. And by the way, if you haven't already checked it out, I did a whole update on the U.S. dollar, on Treasuries, on the S&P in yesterday's video, which you can find at Simpler Trading YouTube channel, S&P dollar bonds, oh my. And what it is that we do with the dollar, why that matters, or does it, right? What do treasuries say about the equities, or do they, right? So a lot of myths and a lot of dogma is debunked in that video, because I'm not about dogma. I'm not about correlations. I'm not about compartmentalizations. What's working? And in that video, I talk about what's working now. And frankly, here's the punchline, why I am going to continue to be really bullish for the remainder of this year and most certainly into next. It's working. So if it ain't broke, right? Okay, gang. So as always, best part of our show are your questions. So let's get to it. Hey there, D. Bolton. Yes, happy Thanksgiving. Love it. Thank you so much. Lots to be grateful for. Most certainly those of you that join me every morning for Charts and Coffee. We will have a Charts and Coffee tomorrow on Thanksgiving. It's one of my favorite episodes, my favorite shows every year. We do an elongated version. We do a lot of Q&A. So if you got a little bit of time in the morning before the turkey kicks in and before football starts, tune on in. We'll be here at 9 a.m. tomorrow. But for those of you I won't see tomorrow, absolutely grateful for you all. And happy Thanksgiving. And for those of you not in the U.S. and it's just a regular Thursday, hey, come on over. We're going to be doing charts and coffee in the morning. All right. Okay. Hey, by the way, and the bot and I were talking about this before the bell or before the show. Um, the uh, the sector secrets mastery, daily price movement ranges, and hourly price movement ranges. These subscription based things. Um, these are 30% off, gang. And if you haven't re-upped your daily price movement range yet, or your hourly price movement range yet, or your sector secrets mastery yet, right? One of the things that we love, one of the things that Trish Boss and I have done for 10 years is when we put a class together, we try to put as much within that class as possible. And when we have these sales, we love to remind everybody, and I'm sure it's running on Countdown Trader as well. If you've got those emails from countdowntrader.com, everything's 30% off. I mention this because, my gosh, gang, if you're using these tools, pick them up while they're on sale. That's that much more capital you can put in your trading account. Do not pay more for it later if you don't have to. So if you're looking to re-up any of those, I'll tell you, gang, now is the time. I'll give you for instance, any subscriptions that I have every year, TradingView, even non-trading subscriptions, when they go on Black Friday, that's when I start to load up. So anyway, use that code. What is it? BFS 23. All right, so let's get to it. First up is good morning, Tesla and the Qs. I'll be straight up. And by the way, gang, let's think in time frames. I think everyone's been here at the show for long enough where we could start taking it to another level, right, in our process. What time frame are we looking at? And then what symbol? Symbol is only one and really the surface part of the conversation, right? If I want to trade Tesla, the 5-minute has a structure, the 1 hour has a structure, and the daily has a structure. So part of my job as a trader is to not only determine which symbol I want to trade, but how I want to trade it. Short term, somewhat intermediate, or long. Would I prefer to be bullish or bearish? That's going to dictate which one of the 3 time frames. If you include the weekly for our portfolio conversations every week, what is it that I want to do? If I want to be a buyer in Tesla, really simple, 1 hour time frame. All right, QQQ, same conversation, right? Do I want to be a buyer? 5-minute looks great. In fact, if we want to be trading the Qs, and this is something we talk about quite a bit in the futures room, quite a bit in the mastery. If I want to trade the NASDAQ futures, NQ is the touchdown. If I want to trade the micro, right, NQ versus MNQ, I'm still going to look at NQ. And if I want to trade QQQ, I should still look at NQ. These are all different ways to trade the NASDAQ 100, but the one that's going to give me the most complete view, nearly 24 hours, very good liquidity, it's going to be the NQ. Ideally, we use this structure, setup, pricing, even to enter this, right? So if I want to be buying QQQ, I'm going to be focused mostly on the 5-minute as a day trade. That's that 65-minute window that I love to look at every single morning. In fact, we're together every morning in the Sector Secrets Mastery from 9:20 to 10:35 day trading actively together. So if I want to be a buyer, which is what I would focus on, 5-minute or daily, and this is very much by the dip, maybe it's a wave entry. On the daily, it'd be a daily price movement range, and that is what I would look at. Deep Holton says you need to be a member of the Sector Secrets Mastery. Grab the sale. Yeah, and by the way, even for those of you that want to re-up, grab the sale, right? Yeah, absolutely, Deep Holton. Thank you. All right. Let's see what else we have here. Hang on, gang. I think I have a sneeze coming on. No, I think it's going to pass. Let's see. As far as existing members, Siva, I'm not aware that existing members cannot use the sale. I'm not aware of that. I don't believe that's correct. I could be wrong. I'm not part of sales or marketing. But yeah, if you are looking to update your existing service, I believe you can. So, Bot, do you know? Yeah, that's not true. Siva, I'm happy to say that is not correct. right? If you're having issues with re-upping your service through the website, you shouldn't be, but call the office. Yes, existing members, daily price movement range, hourly price movement range, sector secrets master, or any of other subscription services. No, we are in no means going to count out our existing clients, members, right? No way, not true. All right. I bought the indicators last year. Which indicators? Standard? Which indicators? I'm not sure which one you're talking about. I have the V-score. If you could be a little bit more specific, that would help. If you're talking about the HPMRs and DPMRs, yeah, you need an update. Oh gosh, if you're talking about hourly price movement range and daily price movement range, standard, we update those every 2 to 4 weeks. So if you have it from last year, that's like eggs that have been sitting in the fridge or milk for, a year after expiration. Oh yeah, it's got to go. It's got to go. Yeah, those are updated every 2 to 4 weeks. So I'm not sure which indicator you're referring to, my friend, but if it is hourly price movement range or daily, oh gosh, yes. Yes, those are updated every 2 to 4 weeks. We send out the updates to subscribers. They download the new data. They get the fresh red and green zones for the hourly price movement range and the gold and gray for the daily. All right, next up is, let's take a look at crude. Let's do that. Downtrend prevailing on the daily. Agreed. Beautiful. Gosh, I really feel like I have to sneeze and it just won't. You ever have that? It's awful. I think we're good. It's down 4% pre-market. Okay. Thoughts on a likely target to the downside. All right. So you're talking about you're already in the trade, Matt. Matt, I don't know where you're in from, so I can't even begin to tell you what's a reasonable target. But I will say this. Right now, between 74.50 and 74.13, you're at the bottom of the daily price movement range and the first standard deviation. So if you want to push it, I would say 73.67. If you want a fairly ambitious target, 74.13. And if you want to at least trail your stop or move to break even, I do so at 74.52. All right, next. And by the way, that's all predicated on the daily price movement range right on my chart. I'm not having to calculate anything. The DPMRs do it for me. This is the current look at historical volatility specific to crude oil. All right. Dimitri, if you're looking for the, and thank you for the question, Dimitri. I'm glad you asked. From what I understand about daily price movement ranges, you have to call the office. I don't know why. That is not my call. We have a lot of products, but if you do, yes, they are 30% on it. So whether you're renewing or signing up, yes, it is. And I don't know if we so again, call the office, because from what I understand, existing members can re-up at 30%. And until someone tells me otherwise, that is what I have been told. And I don't know if it's a relatively recent decision to do that. It may not have started off that way. Again, I have no idea. But from what I understand, existing members of the Mastery, of the DPMRs, and the HPMRs can do it. But you have to call. It won't work online, I guess. So sorry about that. But you have to call. So if you are out there saying, Rog, I've tried the code. I'm an existing HPMR, DPMR, Sector Secrets Mastery. Yeah, you have to call. I'm sorry about that. But we have folks that'll be happy to help you out there. All right. All right. So Dimitri, yeah, you got to call. I don't know why, but yes, if you want the special, please do give them a buzz, right? Tell them I told you to call. They'll take good care of you. All right, NVDA. As far as NVDA goes, Ryan, where we are right now is really not that much of a move in either direction, quite frankly. We tried to play a semiconductor story related to what we presumed would be a relatively neutral to positive outcome for NVDA. We got long Intel. We're not down at 488, so I can't buy the thing. We're not up at 508, so I'm not concerned about resistance. Where do those two levels come from? daily price movement ranges, the gold and the gray on my screen. Nothing really to do right yet. If I want to play this stock, it's going to be to the long side on the daily and likely the long side on the 5-minute, but I've got to get down to about 494.5 before I can even do that if I'm going to day trade it. Okay. All right. Next up is, let's see here. Where do we find info on the, Dave, I don't know what SS is on the simpler sales. I don't know what that means. Where do we find info on the offers? I would go to the website, go to simplertrading.com, go into our store, and then BF Bravo Foxtrot Sierra BFS 23. And that should get you your discount. And if you're having a hard time using it online, give the office a call. All right. Next up is, let's see here. Is the V score not included in the sale? I believe everything but my day trading class is, gang. I believe everything but my day trading class is included in the sale. So if you're looking for that V Max kit, that whole toolkit of the volume tools that I use, Mark, yeah, it is. I think the only thing that is not is the class that we did in August. Other than that, all my HPMRs, DPMRs, the VWAP Max bundle, the sector secrets, yes, all of that is included in the Black Friday sale. Just not the class that I just did in August. So the most recent class is not there. All right. So you're in long puts from yesterday, Matt. I would be active on the morning. I would at least move to break even on that Nvidia. Or no, that was what was the question again on that, Matt? Sorry. Your question was on crude oil, right? Crude? Okay. On crude, yeah, if you're getting that nice move to the downside right on the bell, I would at least start to move to at least a break even, if not trailing. Pay yourself. It's a really good size move. It's taking you from the gold zone of the volatility range down to the gray. I would take a look at that gray zone, as we mentioned, those price levels. And then you've got the first and second standard deviation with the bright green and the dark green. So that's where those other prices that I gave you came from. Okay. BLP asked, so if you resubscribe now, does that extend your subscription? Yes, I believe so. Yeah. So if you're paid up through whatever, I believe it would just simply extend. Yes. All right. Let's see. I can't find a link for the annual. Again, gang, for John, I think if you'll tune in a little bit later, yes, you have to call the office for daily price movement ranges. I have no idea why that is. Yeah, just check with the office and they can hook you up. All right. Same thing with the sector secrets. They can hook you up. Just give them a call. Do the indicators work in the TradeStation platform? The way that I recommend, Ronit, the way that I recommend traders like myself who still have TradeStation accounts, what I recommend is, and by the way, the simple answer is no. I do not support .ts files anymore. I don't use them anymore. TradeStation now works with TradingView. So what I do, and I love TradeStation. I think it's a fantastic brokerage. But TradeStation works with TradingView. And it's easy to plumb in the API from TradeStation into TradingView, feed those charts. And on TradingView, we have all the custom indicators that I use. And so, no, I don't support TradeStation any longer, but we use TradeStation via TradingView, right? So I hope that makes sense. We don't use the easy language scripting based indicators any longer. We just use PineScript and ThinkScript. So TOS and TradingView. And that's the workaround because, again, TradeStation works with TradingView, which is great. Two great services coming together. All right, Walmart. I'll tell you what, I'm not super enthused about staples and about sort of these more defensive-ish names, but Walmart is interesting. 200 daily price movement range oversold. If anything, I would focus on the long side in this window. Yes, I would just need a trigger, but this would be a great trade off the 200, off the daily price movement range, daily time frame, oversold, slow stow. I do like the long side. All right, gang. So that's a wrap. Thank you, as always, for being a part of Charts and Coffee. I will see you all tomorrow. We will have a Charts and Coffee on Thanksgiving. I can't think of a better way to start the Thanksgiving day than talking about some charts and some markets and maybe some macro with you all. So same time, same station tomorrow. Be good to each other, gang. Heads up for the hot zones. And if I don't see you tomorrow, have a happy Thanksgiving.